I'm going to get my own channel?
Um, just my thoughts and
Mhm.
how I looked at things and how I viewed a lot of things that was going on in the world, and just wanted to share my perspective because one thing I've understood about podcasting is it's just thoughts and opinions, and people watch the content. If they resonate with it, then they'll keep coming back and watching it. If they don't
Right.
and disagree, that still makes for content because it's people with a difference of opinion to
Mhm.
give even more insight to people and how they look at things differently. So what really brought me to YouTube is like, well, I can share my thoughts up here, and I'm pretty good at doing that. Like I said, I always tell people in the live streams, it's not an easy thing to do,
Right.
but if you're going to do it, commit to it. You can't
Mhm.
have it, and it's a such thing as having a personality outside of course, YouTube. But the hardest thing is making it translate on camera because YouTube in reality is different. But that's what made
Right.
me gravitate to YouTube. Just the ability to share your thoughts on the platform.
Yeah. Hey, Bolo. Thank you. Hey, Coach D. I wanted to ask you too, as you kind of, been in this sector or surrounding the sector of the
Mhm.
Kwame Brown sector, um, what have you seen some changes like first starting out? Because were you here at the very beginning when Kwame Brown went viral or?
Yeah. Again, I seen when he had the moments with the other NBA players that he was associated with and on teams with. What made that situation in itself to me unique was we didn't ever see any ex NBA players sharing their thoughts like that.
Right.
But, to see the interaction of these NBA players saying what they were saying to each other, without the media and the what they call it, the media training, and everybody pretty much the publicity putting it out the way they wanted to, and to see them
Uh-huh.
interacting on social media sites where people can type to them and all that, and having that kind of access, that was what made that situation unique to me. So that was something, and
Right.
I see how that became the foundation as to, where we are now, when we have people with all different types of channels, and some people still speaking about the situations, others, kind of branched off doing their own thing. But, that kind of was the what it was, this kind of sector is predicated on.
Mm. Did you ever feel like, hey, TJ, hey, Super, Cutting Edge, have you ever felt like you were losing yourself at one point? Like if you were trying to go into another direction and you started getting into some beef or some situations where you were going back and forth with a person and you felt like you were losing yourself?
No, no, no. Actually, to be honest with you, if anything, this it was more of an eye opener, because I deal with the people that I deal with in my reality. So coming to
Mhm.
YouTube and seeing how certain entities pretty much portray themselves online, I'm like, yo, nah, these people can't be real, So it was more eye opening. So when I actually seen it, I'm like, okay, so being that we on YouTube, things go about things this way.
Mhm.
The way people respond to situations up here, again, I'm just speaking for me.
Right.
That's how they speak to. That's how they handle it up here. But in reality, I'm speaking for me. I wouldn't handle the situations I would in reality the way I see people handling just the things they handle up here. But it was more eye opening than anything. I couldn't lose myself because I came to YouTube grounded already. I know who I am as a person, so nobody could tell me otherwise. Especially just by typing words and getting on panels speaking or saying anything about me that don't know me. So those kind of things can't put a chink in your armor when you already solidified and standing on something already and knowing who you are as a person.
Now, come on, also though, you can't tell me just a little bit some things pissed you off.
Oh, you talking about just like piss me off? Oh, I
Like,
mean,
like where
you I
you
mean,
like, okay,
yeah.
man, I want to come and see you. Like you that. There hasn't been a moment like that.
I mean, it's been situations, that's happened that had me
Mm,
like, all right, but in the grand scheme of things, you gotta have a better understanding that the things that people say and do, majority of the I'll just say some of the people that what they say and do, they just internet. It's just internet people. It's just for shock value. They're a completely different entity outside of this. So I couldn't bring myself to bring a real life situation to a internet nigga. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Because it goes beyond that. And when you see stuff like that, and then of course the when you see how things play out, you like, oh yeah, it's never something like this would be never worth throwing your life away because you can just simply hit the exit button in the
Mhm.
upper right corner and go outside, cross your threshold and get some sun. So I don't see myself
Okay.
actually getting frustrated or
Uh-huh.
infuriated with anybody up here when it's just all internet.
I need to try what you trying. Go out there and get some sun and let it go.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
that's a pretty good technique. But so what do you want to do with your channel? What are some things that you are trying to do with your channel to move it in another direction?
It's simple. Really highlighting, of course, my strong suits, which of
Mm-hmm.
course is media and broadcasting. I understand, what I do, a lot of people can't do. Of course, you
Mm-hmm.
can just go live and just hit the live button and just talk. Yeah, anybody can do that. But to be able to sustain something like that, as far as, talking about different topics, being able to highlight other content creators and their strong suits, which is something that I would like to do with this particular channel too,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting other content creators and letting them be able to, you know, shine and let other people see another side of that content creator, even if they might have a difference of opinion of, how they look at things.
Right, right.
It's just one of them things where you just, it's more so of course it's my channel, but the vision that I have is more so highlighting and networking and making sure that people understand and appreciate the art of what we do as content creators. That's really what it come down to.
I mean, I actually think that's a good concept. When you had me to come on your platform and you kind of told me what you wanted out of the interview and everything, I thought it was pretty interesting that you have interviewed different content creators, um, about how they see you know I guess their position being a content creator, how they view YouTube and dealt with certain situations. So I think
Mhm.
that's really a good concept that you came on, and that was something that I actually wanted to do. Sometimes I get knocked down for doing interviews because it's like, how can you trying to do interviews? That's getting you into the mess. And I said, you people are just slow and stupid because part of interviews you are asking hard questions, challenging questions. um, Anybody that you see, Diane Sawyer, Oprah, and all these other people, Barbara Walters, that have done interviews on all types of people,
Mhm.
they ask the hard questions. Sometimes they ask, the person was in the middle of a controversy. Like, who was that interviewed Whitney Houston at the time? I think it was her last interview.
Mhm.
I think it was Barbara Walters, and I might be mistaken. But she was asking her questions about her drug use. And of
Mhm.
course, Whitney denied it and said crack is whack, right? But
Mhm.
at the time she was dealing with the drug issue, and she was dealing with a lot of different things at the time,
Mhm.
with her marriage, with being in and out of rehab. And
Right.
sometimes interviews, you're going to be asking people questions that are in the middle of drama, controversy. That's a
Mhm.
part of doing interviews. So I think people are really slow when they don't understand that. And then they say, well, how you say you want to get out of the mess, but you get, that's only for people that are not logical. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
only for people that don't know anything about media.
Right.
You look at media, but you don't understand it. How you don't understand an interview? So I appreciate the fact that you can interview different type of content creators, whether I like them or not. The fact of the matter is you ask some really good questions, right? And you give people a chance to be themselves and express the way that they want to express themselves. So I applaud you for that.
I appreciate that.
I
Yeah.
applaud you for that. And you also do a lot of content that other people don't want to talk about. You were talking about the white Jesus. I forgot the name. Can you tell us
The
more
white,
about that?
the white savior complex.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Because some people would agree with you on that. What?
Yeah. I can
Oh,
answer the Candyman comment first too as well.
okay.
Wasn't hating on your brother, man. Just jokes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do got videos of me roasting and stuff like that, you
And
know.
Candyman, he go come.
You know what I'm saying? Did videos with just roasting and joking. And in those same videos, like I just told you before, um, I just was more so looking at just the aspect of just not just with his brother or just
Uh-huh.
NBA players in general, you know, them giving access to, you know, people on the internet like they was and speaking about their differences publicly like that, you know, that was an unusual thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
I did videos speaking on that,
So
and
you just
that's what
it
it
was just
was.
playful roasting, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
I mean, I can't have no malice or no disdain for anybody I've never met or
Yeah, you
known.
don't
I mean,
know.
that's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
But to roast and have fun up here, that's what we all about. I don't take any of this to heart. All this is it's just content at the end of the day. If people are entertained by it, you know, some people may confuse it with beef and all these other different types of scenarios they want to do, which is if that's their prerogative, they have
Right.
that prerogative. But for me, um, it's just content and like it ain't no malice there.
Right.
Like I've
And
already
I
stated
never
before.
heard that about you. Also, though, that you were now that part I don't remember hearing you roasting KB, but apparently TJ remembers. TJ is one of those big brothers, and I have them in my family. When people in your family they care about you and they see this stuff on the internet, they they can't understand how
Right, yeah,
you
right, they
know
can't right,
and because I
right,
know when I was going through and some of the things that I go through on here, my big sisters tell me, why you on there? Get off there with them crazy people. And because they say, I don't understand this. I don't understand you. Why are you still on here dealing with these foods? And all this kind of stuff. So I try not to even tell them nothing that I deal with on here because they're protective of me, and they love me. So if they go and see somebody that's talking about me, they gonna feel
mhm,
away. That's
right,
just
and
that's just
I
what it
get
is.
that.
Yeah.
That's something I don't wanna listen, that's something I'm not at
Uh-huh.
any liberty to tell anybody how they view things, you know, if that's
Right.
something that they view and their perspective, they have every right to view things that way, but if they're a person that's trying to get clarity on a situation, then that's something different too, because you can also have your thoughts, but you can also get your clarity by speaking to the person and getting the clarification to whatever it is that you're thinking, or if you're just somebody that want to have your thoughts, that's fine too. You know,
Mhm.
I don't knock that because, like I said, I'm a man first, and like I've said in all my live streams, a conversation can be had. It's not no need for any kind of speculations when I give that access to be able to do that. But
Right. Right.
I know we got a little sidetracked. Like I just wanted to speak to, his comment.
Uh-huh.
But the white savior complex was something that I felt like I wanted to speak to because that's a topic that's actually happening in real time and in our day to day. And I know with some people of the community that don't realize that they might be partaking in that. And then there's ones that just know, but they don't care because they feel like that's something that'll bring them up another closer, that bring them up closer on the rung of the ladder of success. And
Mhm.
everybody views success differently. So when I speak about the white savior complex, meaning, when you have white people that feel like doing favors for us makes them feel like they have some type of superiority over us, and that
Yeah.
we're not able to help ourselves unless we get help through them. And they feel like they have to come in and save us from whatever it is that we might be going through life. But here they are riding in on their horse,
Mhm.
saving us. And to me, I just look at that as, that's nonsense. It's people that can, of course, people of the community that can do for themselves, and they don't have to look to some uh, white figure to be a savior when they can
Mhm.
save themselves. Because if you don't like your situation, change it.
Exactly. It would be better if people that look like us would help, we could help each other, but that's not the, to me, that's not always the case. To me, we have a hard time working with each other, helping each other, and taking care of each other because we have so much hate and jealousy towards one another.
Right.
So, how, with you saying that, that's true, but I also think that the people that have helped me, there's some people that helped me without any expectation of getting anything back in return, did not look like me. Okay, they looked like, so, either they was white, they was Hispanic, they was Asian. They weren't, they they weren't my kin, you know what I'm saying?
No, I
And
get
it,
that. I get that.
mm-hmm,
And I'm not saying that about again, now that's fine.
mm-hmm,
The part that come into it is, where's the humility? Like, are you doing that from the heart, or are you doing that just for accolade to say that you did that just to do it? And then to
right,
be able to
that's the
use that,
difference. Uh-huh.
that's the difference. Now, what you're
Mhm.
saying, that's completely fine, because, at the end of the day,
Right.
people are everywhere and they're going to be helping people. But the
Mhm.
difference is the lack of humility.
Mhm. Why do you think, as African Americans, why do you think we hate each other, or jealous, or we just have such a disdain for other people that look like us? Why do you think it's like that?
Again, it started, it's psychological. I
Mhm.
spoke about this too. When a person is able to get your mind and, you know, fill your head with the thoughts that they want to fill your head with, then it
Mhm.
becomes psychological. So we're going to look at each other, and which, again, it don't make sense to me.
Right.
Why I would look at somebody that shares the same reflection to me as an enemy. But again, people have their views, and again, I'm not at liberty to tell somebody how they, look at their perspectives. But the one thing I always say is try to gain some understanding. And
Mhm.
I think that a lot of times, people of the community, and how they look at stuff, um, it's all psychological. They feel like
Mhm.
that's what they need to do because that's what
Right.
society tells them how to look at things, and that's just totally not the case.
Exactly. Exactly. Because, I learned the hard way. Everybody that looks like you ain't your kin. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, just because you black don't mean you my family.
Right, right, right.
You
Now, I'm
know,
always definitely saying, and I agree with that 100% too. Now, I'm
yeah,
not just saying go out in the world and just
no,
allow people, that share the same complexion as you to just
right.
disrespect you and dog you out, and you take it all because we all supposed to be black out here. Not at all. No.
Hmm.
Definitely, stand on business, stand on your own 10, and allow only what you'll allow. But at the same token, you just got to be mindful that a lot of people was raised different. and
Right,
and at the end of the day, the only person's actions and thoughts that I'm in control of is my own.
exactly. You are not, um, all the way African American. What I mean by that is you have another culture in your background. Am I correct?
What coach are you speaking of?
Are you Ethiopian or what? you laughing at? I just asked the question. Are you Ethiopian?
No, I'm not. I'm not
You're not.
Ethiopian. I have that on my on a profile on social media listed
Oh,
as a location that I'm born from, but it's completely trolling. I'm not Ethiopian. Shout out to the Ethiopia.
oh, okay.
Ethiopia. They say Ethiopia. Shout out to Ethiopia, but no, I'm not
Oh,
Ethiopian at
okay.
all. I was
'Cause
born in the
no.
US.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'm a citizen. Never had a green card. None of that stuff. It's the social media, you know. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
I was trolling on that, but that was a good question though. That's why I had to laugh.
okay, because no, the reason why, yeah, that's what I remember a part of that. Because I was like, oh, because the reason why I could relate to that because one of my great grandmothers was,
Mhm,
Ethiopian.
mhm.
So that's why I was asking you because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, so you have that in common. Okay, so no, that was just something that you were trolling.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just, like I said, shout out to Ethiopia. I know some amazing people from that background, from that cloth,
me
and that
too.
was just me throwing that up there. And then again, the place that I have up there, I never physically touched down there,
Mm,
but I do have some amazing people from that background that I know.
okay, okay. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Virginia. I'm from Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're from Virginia. Okay.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your background with you growing up in Virginia. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, did you come from a two-parent home, a single
Oh
mother?
Lord, you trying
I'm
to?
just hey, I'm trying to get to know you. Okay.
I get that.
Look, as
I'll just
TJ
say
said,
I'll say this. I'll just say
TJ
this.
said we want to know if you changed. No, I'm just
I'll say this. I'll just say this. From Virginia,
uh-huh.
and I've had some really instrumental people in my life that played a big part. That for the person that you see today, and very like I say when I say instrumental, very instrumental,
Mm-hmm,
very very strong people, mentally, physically, that ingrained a lot of values in me, and
mm-hmm,
you know, which is compiled of the person that you see before you today. So the upbringing was great. It was great. Like I said, I couldn't have asked for a better, you know, um, family of people that took a part in, my upbringing.
mm-hmm. I gotta be honest with you when as I talk to you, and sometimes I felt like you were out of place in this sector. It's kind of like how I'm out of place. Like you're out of place. It's like you to me you seem like you never really belonged. You kind of fit in where you could get in at one point, but now I kind of see you stepping out on your own and really staying true to you,
Well,
to
that's the
whatever that
thing.
is,
I'm not sure if you're really familiar with my earlier work that I was doing, when I
Mhm,
was here. But that's always been me. I've always did my own thing. I never was on the coattails of any content creator. I
mhm,
understand it's content creators that gravitate to other content creators because they might like their style or the type of material that they put out there for their audience. So, they become fans of the work. And I get that. And I see that's what a
mhm,
lot of, content creators did, when it came to my work. So that's kind of like where you see some of the affiliations with, certain content creators within, this pocket of YouTube. But I've always did my own thing, always stood on 10, also dope live, always been also dope live, never with any internet gang or internet groups or any of that stuff. I've always been me and the people that's
mhm,
been in my chat. Of course, it might be from people, within this pocket of YouTube from different content creators' chats, but the people that do come to my audience and view the content and they resonate with it, I'm cool with that as well. And when you say like I don't belong, um, it's not even with I'm not even limiting myself to this particular place.
mhm.
If you see the content, I'm not
Exactly.
speaking on the things that's actually going down
And
uh
that's no
around
slight
us.
to you because I feel the same way. So it's no slight to you that I
Oh, of
said
course.
that.
And
Okay.
I'm not taking it as one. That's why,
Okay.
I'm expounding on that because you wanted some more understanding too. And I wanted to give understanding. I'm
Right.
not limiting myself to what goes on here because it's something every day, and I'm not going to spend my duration talking about other people's stuff that they got going on. That's their issues.
Uh-huh.
When I could be speaking about other things, and also seeing potential in other content creators, which geared me to do the Let's Have a Conversation segments where I speak and highlight the strengths of content creators around. So yeah, I'm around, but I ain't around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the middle and trying to shine light on what I like. Nah, I mean, I'm around. A few people might have a disagreement of how they view me, and that's fine. But if they want to take the time to have a conversation, that's cool too. Like I said,
Okay.
I'm with all that.
All right. Well, the one thing I can respect about you, you will have a conversation with people, even in the most challenging situations. You had a situation with my boy Down D, and I didn't know about the situation. And anyway, we talked a little bit about that. He was saying that you said he was a clone. What now? How did you come up to that observation that Damn D was a clone? Because that was kind of
Um,
funny though.
yeah, and it was meant to be funny. It was a joke.
It
It was a roasting video that I was doing about him. I don't remember everything I said verbatim. Again,
right.
this was some of my earlier work. Like again, what you were saying. Um, you wasn't too familiar about what I was doing early. That's why you was thinking that I'm within the sector, but oh nah. So in my earlier work, he was somebody, that I did do a roasted video on because
Uh-huh.
again, the dude, you know what I'm saying? So I did a roasted video on him, and I think I said he was a clone AI, or he's somebody, that
You crazy as hell.
somebody that that
Right.
disassembles before they go to bed, and then he got to reassemble himself, in the morning. I'm saying stuff like
The
that.
hell.
It's jokes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So I would never think to come up with that. That's pretty interesting.
so some people heard that, and
Uh-huh.
they ran around YouTube, and you know how stuff is in this pocket of YouTube.
Right.
They run around and shape it to how they want to shape it, and I guess it got back to him. He was aware of it, and he was like he didn't care about it. So
Mhm.
now he wants to know if I really think he a clone. So that's how that come about.
That's why I asked him, "Are you?" you know, but nah, it's all good. But I'm glad that it was light roasting, like you were saying earlier with the situation with Kwame. It wasn't no malice in it. Because some people have some malice and they I don't even think it's roasting. I think it's just being insulting.
Mm,
Because I think there's a difference between roasting and just plain mean and insulting. Like
mm,
those are two different things, you know what I'm saying? So I
right.
think people get the roasting kind of mixed up. And I'm glad that you didn't have any malice behind it. You were just just being funny.
Mm.
But some people take it to another level. They take it
Oh yeah,
to
for
another
sure.
level.
People
So
people's ideas is different, but
mhm,
again, it just goes back to I'm only in control of my actions. You know.
mhm. That's good. That's good. So what do you want to see your channel how do you want to see it flourish in the next year? Well, it's about to be 2025. So how do
Correct.
you see yourself in the 2025 with your channel? What do you want to be doing?
Um, just continuing to make sure that all my material that I put out is organic, is 100% me,
Mhm.
and of course taking the critiques of about people. Of course you listen to what people say, and
Mhm.
what you feel like you can pull from, you do that, and what you can't, you just put that to the wayside. But mostly for my channel, I just wanted to, of course, to continue to grow, and again to be 100% me, and just flourish, man. Just like the first one, I just look at this YouTube thing. It's just a way for me to, put out my art, and
Mhm.
just the thoughts in my mind, and it all can be documented by a simple video.
Mhm.
Just the, when people do live streams, that's you getting the thoughts in their head at that moment, even though they might be in character or whatever the case may be. It's still a reflection of who they are in their reality. So I
Right.
always want my channel to just still be a reflection of me of how I do, and that's what it is.
Can somebody please put Also Dope's channel in the chat? I believe he's up to 100, and how many you have now? Hey OC, hey Juicy.
152.
Okay, so guys, if y'all could put Also Dope's channel in the chat, bless him with some subscribers. He's trying to get his
Yeah,
channel off
for sure. Appreciate that.
out of at least out of the 100s and into 200s. We want to get them, and we want you to flourish as well, because you were so gracious to me as your guest,
Mhm,
very polite, and like I said, you also really asked some great questions. I didn't
mhm.
feel uncomfortable, even though at the time I was like a little tense, because I was like, "Oh Lord, I hope he don't ask me nothing that I have to not, just say something that may could get me some, get somebody some content." So I was
Right.
just like, but you were very gracious to me and asked some really good
Mhm,
questions. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you for that. So you guys, if y'all put his channel in the chat, please sub up to Also Dope and give him a try, give him a chance. TJ's giving him a chance, I guess. He's trying to see if he changed. So
but
uh,
he's saying seeing if I changed. I mean, I'm
yeah.
the same guy. I'm also dope live. I'm just OSD live reloaded right now. I'm underneath, a different moniker right now with this channel.
Uh-huh.
But everything that I've said, my thoughts, that's just me, and how I
Right.
view things. Again, I know people have their own channels and their own viewpoints, but the only the how can I put it? The difference would be where you have this clash of so many people with their own thoughts of opinions, that there's still that margin of a conversation. That's
Right.
what always will be the gray area, because people
Right.
can always have their thoughts and opinions. That's fine. That's what we all going to have those. But the conversation and just the meeting of the minds in
Right.
general. And again, if nothing comes from it, that's fine too. But it's that small thing, we all can agree to disagree, and
Hmm.
and it can be respectfully. That's again, this is how I look at it. And that's something that I pride myself on. The content that I do. So I'll say the things that I'll say in my videos and have my thoughts, but I always make sure that I always bring it back to the audience for anybody that might have a question, or anybody that want to share their thoughts, whether they agree or disagree. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter. Um, the thing that matters to me is clarification.
Right.
That's the only thing that matters to me.
Hmm. You have some really nice music. I heard
Thank you.
a couple of your songs, and can you tell us a little bit about your style of music?
Yeah. When you all hear that music, that's my thoughts in real time at that happening at that very moment when I wrote it. Of course, it's a thing where you can write and you can record that same day, but sometimes I'll write and record later on at some other time. But when I write it, that's my thoughts at that very moment. From the way I deliver certain bars, the way
Hmm.
I switch up into different pockets of flows, the subject matter, the beat selection, that all plays a part in the creative process. And I spoke to my audience before when I told them, and I'm telling you the same thing.
Hmm.
Um, the song should write itself. When you
Right.
hear an instrumental and you feel like you have to force yourself to write something like, okay, this should be, then I feel like that's kind of forced, where you can hear an instrumental and then things just flow naturally and the song just writing itself. And the way, it's going, you like, all right, we in the swing of things. And that's kind of like how my writing process is. It's a structure to it, but
Mhm.
it's organized chaos though. And when it's just it's really organized chaos because I can take, a word from a previous bar and be able to, you know, bring it back in the next previous bar to kind of bring context to what I was speaking about in first. So yeah, I just, music is something that I always love because again, that's another avenue of, expressing yourself creatively. So
Mhm.
when people say that they don't like it or anything of that nature, I'm completely fine with that because it's an acquired taste and it's not going to be for everybody. And as
Right.
an artist, that's something you should always know that your style or anything is not going to be for everybody because a lot of times people don't understand and would like to just remain in the unknown or in the not know, and that's completely fine. But if you're a person um that likes to broaden your horizons and learn different things or understand different styles, then you know, that's what's gonna, invoke growth. And
Right.
that's what I strive for. So yeah,
You
my whole process is like I said, it's organized chaos, but I enjoy, writing thoroughly.
you seem like you remind me of a male Floetry. You remember them back in the day,
Yeah,
Floetry,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and
I love
that's kind of
Floetry,
how.
Marsha Ambrosius. She is
Yeah, that's
amazing.
kind of how your sound. And I forgot the lady that did the spoken word, the rap on the songs with Marsha. I forgot her name, but you kind of remind me of that kind of flow. And I was trying to think of another artist that you reminded me of that kind of has that same
Mhm.
type of air about them. But like I said, it is a required taste,
Yeah,
but it is something that I know that it's you. That's who you are. You
yeah,
expressing yourself. And some people are gonna rock with it, some people are not. I can go either way because I like all types of music, all types of
that's the word.
different hip hop and things of that nature. But I come from the South. You do too. So I like a lot of the South music,
Yeah,
like
me too.
Memphis, even some
Yeah,
artists in Dallas.
yeah,
Georgia. So though I gravitate to stuff like that. Especially Pimp C,
yeah.
and
Rest in paradise, Pimp
Bun
C.
B. Yeah, So I kind of gravitate to that kind, but I do still like your flow of music as well. Is there anything that you're going to do with your music this coming year? Or are you going to try to get signed? Are you
Mm.
signed? You could be signed, and I'm not aware.
Um, I mean, at the end of the day, and to bring back the talking point that you were speaking about,
Okay.
I have many variations of songs. So the particular songs that, I put out, of course, like I said, that's in real time. That's where my mind at. But like that trap sound where you just got a heavy 808 and you just got some real sharp hi-hats and you just got a real clean snare, for like a South beat. I love that. Everybody likes a good bass in their songs and stuff, and I can write to those, those different types of instrumentals easy. I look at that as something that can be done easy because with those particular types of instrumentals,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't require a lot of words. So I
Mm-hmm.
can I can say certain amount of things and get away with it and just throw in some cool ad libs because it sounds good, it sounds cool. And I'm an ad lib person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, like me, I think ad libs is important because people remember the ad libs. If they don't take anything from your songs, they'll remember your ad libs. And I did an actual social engineering project just with this particular sector, and whether somebody feels like they're dissing me about my music or anything, they'll say some of my catchphrases. They'll say some of my catchphrase ad libs and thinking that's a diss on me. But the whole time I did that for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And
So if you learn an ad lib or you're joking me because of it, or you feel like that's an insult, a slight to me, it isn't because that's what I was doing in the first place.
that's who. Look, this is
Being
who you
remembered.
reminded me of. Oh, so dope. Andre 3000. That's
Okay.
who you kind of
Yeah,
remind
man.
me of a little
Appreciate
bit.
that. Shout out Three Stacks, man. Three Stacks is the GOAT.
Yeah, I love me some Outkast. That Outkast and Goody Mob. That was another one of my
Oh,
favorite
Goody
groups.
Mob. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my God.
Them guys really were ahead of their time. They set the
Right.
they set the groundwork for artists that let you know that you can be different and still put out quality music
Hmm.
and be true
That's
to
true.
yourself at the same time. So, shouts out to Goody Mob and Outkast and the Dungeon family.
Yes. Yeah, Philly. Yeah, that's my jam. Right. I love me some Goody Mob.
Yeah.
Like Outkast. Like I was just like when I used to live in Atlanta, I was like, oh, I hope I run into I never ran into none of them. But I was hoping that I would run into Outkast and Goody
Yeah.
Mob. Those are that was my group back in the day. But what do you want people to know about you before we leave from here? What is something that you want people to know or to understand about you?
Oh, oh, and two, I didn't answer your question about the sign thing.
Oh,
It's not about being signed or
mm,
anything. That's not really important to me.
mm,
When I look at the songs that I write, I look at all that as documentation, which is going to segue into your question that you asked me now. Um, I look at all of this documentation, putting my voice on wax and
right.
you're hearing my voice with the words and you understanding where I'm coming from. And if you don't, you got references to that. And
Hmm.
the one thing I want people to know about, also dope, Steph is dope, is that he was always gonna be 1,000% himself. He's gonna always say what's on his mind. And if it was not anything that he didn't understand, he was going to take the time to research it and just to make a difference. I feel like me being in control of my actions and how I respond to things and the things that I do on earth, and what I leave behind will be a body of work that if
Right.
nobody understood what I did or who I was as a person, they will have references with just the live streams that I've done, the songs that I wrote, the pre-records I've uploaded, the shorts I've done, gotten a sense of humor, heard the lyrics, seen when I did, in studio sessions.
Hmm.
These are all to me just important documentations for the person to, understand me, you know.
Right.
So that's why I do all this for.
I don't know. That's right. I'm glad that you said that, you've been yourself. I feel like sometimes, I know for me, I get caught up. I have in the past got caught up in the matrix and I haven't. Sometimes I feel like I wasn't really being myself, right?
Mm,
Until I realized that that's what I need to be myself, regardless
right.
if people like it or not. So it's really good that as a person that you said that you felt like you have always been yourself on
Mm,
here. And it's amazing how some people never truly realize if they are themselves or they are character.
right. Um, I agree. And when you were going through something conflicting like that, that's when you as a person, should step away and figure
Mm,
out yourself first. Because if you're letting people tell you who you are, then you've already lost already. Because nobody knows you better than yourself. So if
exactly.
you're online, especially letting people that don't have an idea of what you've been through, your experiences, any of that thing, or any extent of walking nature you've had on the four corners of this world, you've already lost. So
Mhm.
it's best to always find that within first. And once you have that solid foundation, a place like this where you have all different type of entities, they won't be able
Mhm.
to tell you who you are because you know who you are in the first place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there any more advice that you would give me or another content creator?
Um, yeah, again, those I think we hit the major talking points as far as just staying true to your material, staying true to your work, staying true to self, don't lose your way on the internet, because it's going to be people, that's going to be, the
Mhm.
forks in the road or the bumps on the road. That's going to happen because that's letting you know you're doing something right.
Right.
Because if you didn't have those obstacles in front of you, n- then that means you're not doing something right, because nobody cares.
Right.
So if nobody's talking about you, nobody's making all types of weird observations about you, or just
Right.
just
Some
define
weird
something about you,
observations.
you're not doing something right. But
Oh,
the
yes.
moment that they aren't saying anything, that's when you gotta kind of be like, all right, now I gotta do something for myself that can resonate with my of course my audience. And once you see you shining and doing what you need to do as far as your material for your audience that you're providing the material for, and the people of course that we like to use the term detractors,
Right.
they'll have something to talk about, because people sometimes don't like to see other people enjoying themselves. So the best way to keep somebody
Right.
from enjoying themselves
It's
is to
miserable.
just to play devil's advocate
Mhm.
and have the difference of opinion, even though you might not feel that way, but you want to just have something to keep going. And that's perfectly fine with me, because I take negatives and make them positives, because that's the content right there for that person that has that difference of opinion, to have a conversation as to why you have that difference of opinion. And let's see if we can bring it home. If we're not able to, then, respectfully, we can have a agree to disagree thing. And
Mm.
you go that way and I'll go that way. And that's just what it is.
Right. These folks said some of these people can't do it. They don't want to do it. So, but like you said, you're only responsible for you. You're not
Hmm.
responsible for the other person.
Right.
So, and it's really crazy. Yeah. And how could I? This is off the subject. How could I forget about Killer Mike? Oh my God, I don't know how
Killer
I
Mike is,
could.
oh man,
He's
I
awesome.
think that's amazing, how he's getting his flowers.
Yeah, he
And
deserves them.
he definitely deserve it. Killer Mike is an exceptional artist.
He
His
is
mind is brilliant. He has a really brilliant mind, and for the
highly
hip hop
intelligent.
game to acknowledge that, that's big. Because he's been an
Mhm.
underground king for a long time.
Yeah, he has. And that's what I'm saying. Even Goody Mob didn't get their just due to me. When CeeLo
Yeah.
kind of went off and did his thing, he got a lot of publicity and things of
Mhm.
that nature, and people were actually paying him attention. But I just feel like a lot of these artists that deserve to be in the mainstream, I guess they weren't willing to bite the apple. You know what I'm saying? And you
Right.
know what that includes, doing some the
Right.
rituals and things like that they got doing.
Right.
And with the what's his name, Diddy, his situation, I'm like, honey,
Yeah.
these folks. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot more other things coming out because some of these artists bit the apple.
Hmm.
They bit the apple. But I appreciate you so much. Hey, Martin, I appreciate you so much for coming through. Also, though, do you have anything last minute that you want? I said last minute, last thing that you would like to say?
No. Again, appreciate you. Inviting me to, your platform to, share my thoughts. That's why I think that's important, for content creators that do different content, to always expand out and get different perspectives from different places. So I appreciate, you being one of those content creators that, you know, took a step out and did something different, by having the old boy also dope live reloaded on your channel. So
Of
that's cool.
course. I'm
So
glad that you blessed me with your presence. I know,
yeah.
I sometimes I'll schedule live, then I think about it and I'm like, I don't feel like talking today. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And then some days I do feel like talking. So it's just
Mhm.
like, since you gave me since I put the link down there and you
Mhm.
popped up, I'm like, this would be a great time to have a conversation with my boy. Oh, so dope. Since
Yeah, for sure.
you blessed me with, and I had a really great time. I thank you
Mm.
for that. Got a lot of views on that interview, so thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah, yeah.
It must not have been too boring. They was being nosy and
No,
watching, hearing what I had to say.
and that's the
So
thing. People are going to have their critiques, but if it's good content, it's good content. Even if a person, and even they want to, have some type of malice at the bottom of their heart, they just can't not watch because they want to know what's the no, and
mm,
that's going to be the views too, the people that might have a difference of opinion. So yeah, that's definitely was going to do what it was going to do. And I appreciate you, being comfortable enough to, come on the platform and share your thoughts. I told you that it was going to be about you, and I just had to do just that because, everybody has
we had
a
to
story.
clone to step in. Oh, so dope. We had to clone to step in.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking
You
about
said what
damn.
happened?
We had damn D the clone to step in and
Oh man.
try to interrupt our interview.
Hey, I mean, but again, in and again, a situation like that,
Uh-huh.
I know y'all have a rapport, and for me, I'm just speaking for myself. If I see someone that I have a rapport with, in some particular content of that nature, I'm a first view because this is what I do. I always view and see what the content creator is speaking about first before
Mhm.
I try to go in and just you know type and all that. That's just me. I'm just speaking for me. But
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
when he did that, you handled it the way you were supposed to handle it. And of course, with me, this was something like I said I put together, so I wasn't gonna let anybody get in between any type of content I'm producing. So
Right.
it was what it was. I mean, I'm pretty. Hopefully, he got what he got from that appearance, in your
Mhm.
chat like that. But at the end of the day, this was something that I put together that nobody could come in and make me deviate from that because I was the one that laid the structure. And when I lay a blueprint to something, I execute. So yeah,
uh,
that was cool. It was what it was, and it still made for great content. And like I said, thank
right.
you for pulling up on the platform and sharing your.
Thank you. And thank you for asking me. I appreciate it. Guys, again, please sub up to Oh So Dope. I believe Miss E put the his channel in my chat. If somebody else could put it in there for those who came and was not able to subscribe to him, please sub up to Oh So Dope. Like I said, he has some very interesting content, you know, sometimes even if you're not always able to go and check the content out, sub up to the person when you have time and you can go back and look at the playback. Just show people support that's trying to do something different and not always doing the beef and going back and forth with people. Sometimes we need a rest from that. Okay, so his content is a fresher breath air because it's different, right? So please sub up to him. Thank you again, Miss E. I appreciate you. Miss Beautiful Miss E, thank you so much. And sub up to my boy Also Dope, please.
Thank
Thank
you. I
you, Chicky.
appreciate y'all for again. Thank you, Selena, 3 times for having me. Appreciate the mods, everybody that
Yeah,
pulled up in the chat to share their thoughts and opinions. It's all greatly appreciated. And if you are over catching me live and stuff, feel free to share your thoughts in the chat. Um, is what it is with me. If you want to share your thoughts, of course, everybody got that right. Of course, we all adults. We respectfully, you should be able to
right.
respectfully convey whatever it is that you want to type respectfully because we are all adults. And
Exactly.
enjoy yourself and enjoy the content. And feel free to leave me comments on any videos too. I like all the engagement. And this has been dope. Thank you.
All right. Look, it was short and sweet, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
It's short
yeah.
and sweet. So thank you so much. Oh, so dope. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, anybody could have came up. We could have had a open discussion because it was open panel, but
Mhm.
I'm glad that I did have a chance to talk to Oh So Dope since he gave me a blessing to come on his platform and to express myself freely. So I thank you so much for that. I can't say that enough. Thank you so much, guys, for your support, whether it was just coming in to say hello or pressing
Mhm.
the like button or a cash app or a super chat. Everything you do, I appreciate it because you don't have to be nice. You don't have to be nice to me, even my mods. And I'm going to do something for my mods. I'm going to have to do. a mods cash giveaway. I got to do that. This coming up. I would say in the next week or so, I'm going to do that. I want to be able to bless my people as well as, as be blessed. You have to learn to be a giver as well. You can't always have your hand out, want people to put money in there, but you can't bless somebody else. So I want to be able to do that for my people, even my subscribers as well. Um, and I wish I had some money to give you, also dope, for your time, but hey, I don't
Uh,
have it like that,
it's all
but
good.
look,
It's all good.
look,
It's
I
all
gotta.
good. This is just the rapport,
Mhm,
and you understanding my stance as not only just a content creator, but a man first,
mhm.
and seeing my viewpoints, and going out to get that understanding. So that's enough for
Right.
me.
All right. Well, thank you. I wish more people was like you,
Yeah,
but
I mean, don't get it twisted. If you want to throw a few, hey, if you're gracious enough, but of course, but no, the rapport is good, So again, thank you for having me on the platform,
thank
and
you
and
so
that's
much.
that's dope.
Also, though, I appreciate you guys. Love y'all to Reese's Pieces. I'm about to head out and finish eating my tamales that I got. So after I finish eating those, I'm gonna get prepared for the next day, God willing. Gotta get up in the morning. So thank you so much. I know some of y'all gotta get up too. So thank you so much, O Speaks. I hope I spoke to you as well. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. And yeah, thank you guys. I can't say thank you more than enough, but hey, I appreciate everybody that came through and showed some love on Selena's couch. And remember, if you haven't subscribed, like, share, and subscribe. And always press the notification button. So when I go live, you will know it. You'll be one of the first to know it. Thank you so much, Philly. It's always a blessing to see you. Thank you. Y'all be blessed. And remember, I appreciate you. Love you to Reese's Pieces. All right. Bye. Selena.
It's a bad baby. Oak Cliff girl. Can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl. Put them heels on and prove my
Welcome to
worth.
Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good. We can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe. Yeah, you gon' be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.